Now we're going to create some color swatches. We want to create red, green, blue, and cyan, magenta, and yellow. And the way we'll do that is we'll make a new group. Click on it and call it Swatches. And within that, I'm going to create a new layer. And I'm going to name that layer Red. And that's where we're going to start. So here, if you drag our cursor across the color spectrum, look at the RGB values change. Just like you would expect. And what's that red there? Perfect red is 255. So here's what we can do. First of all, we'll go to our rectangular marquee tool and we'll set its style to fixed size. And I'm going to put mine at 0.75 inch. Be sure you put inch and not pixel. 0.75 inch. And now when I make a selection, it's a fixed size. So I'm on my red layer. See? I'm in my fixed selection. I go to Edit, Fill. And when I fill this, here's the fill box, I have some choices again. We originally used 50% gray when we filled the background. This time we're going to use color. And when we click on the color button, we get our color picker. And the way to pick the color is we want 255 RGB value of red, 0 of green, 0 of blue. That's perfect red. All right, we click OK and OK, and that fills that swatch. There's some things that you could do. You could take that selection, there's one way to do this, and you could select, save the selection, and let's call it swatch, just so that we can know that's a selection that gets saved, and we could call it back if we wanted. But I'm going to do a couple of tricks here instead. So here red is selected. If I create a new layer, and I can do that by doing the flyout menu or right click, and it will say, what does it say? Duplicate layer? No, I don't want to do any of those. I want to cancel that. I want to, so unfortunately it moves my window up, but let's see what happens. I'll click here. New layer, and it's Command-Shift-N creates a new layer, and we'll name this layer what's the opposite of red is cyan, so let's name it cyan. Right, click, and there's my cyan layer. I'll leave that out so we can see it. Now I can just drag my selection, put it right beside it if I want. See that little, you can barely see that little purple line? That lines it up so it says that they're centered. Isn't that cool? This time again we'll do fill, color, click on color, and this time we want to have a cyan. And what's cyan? Cyan is green and blue at 255. 255 in green, 255 of blue, and 0 of red. 0 red. Alright, that's our cyan color. Click it. There we have it. Command-Shift-N makes a new layer. Let's name this one green. Green. 100% opacity, normal mode. Okay. We can drag that selection down. I think we'll do it. And you see how the line, the vertical line, shows that it's lined up horizontally, and then we can do edit, fill, color again, and this time we wanted green, and that would be 0 red, 0 blue, and green. Color, okay. And then I'm going to continue to do that. So another Command-Shift-N, and I think I've got cyan, magenta. I think I'll do magenta now. Magenta is the opposite of green, so we'll use magenta. Okay, we've got a magenta layer. We're going to move this over. There we go. Lines up.